No, I'm not, that wasn't the reveal. I'm wearing a hat. You couldn't possibly know like that. That's what Big A looks like, bald. Why would the first reaction be bald? You can't even see. You don't even know. If this was the first time you saw me, you wouldn't be like bald. I would be shocked that I'm white. That's what if I was an H-Rock viewer and I finally saw a face reveal, I'd be like, wait, he's white? That would shock me. Because I would have figured Latin King. Okay, Donkey. So funny that happened to Donkey for real. That is very funny that a huge chunk of his audience thought he was black for a long time. I'd be surprised you're straight. How could you tell I'm straight by a face reveal? Do I just look straight? No. I'm like Pedro Pascal. Like I could be gay. I could be bi. You don't know. I have like a charm to me. You know, I could be. I don't just look like a straight white guy. That's for sure. You wear too many plaid shirts with that fashion sense, brother. Sorry, something wrong with my denim shirt. This denim shirt's too straight for you? Very lesbian. You think I'm lesbian? Drake style? Girl, you a lesbian? Me too. I guess you're onto something. He's married to a girl makes sense. A man who dresses like a lesbian is straight. I don't make the rules. I agree. You don't make the rules. I agree. And that way I don't count your rule. You're not in charge of the rules, and thus, hey Shark, will you support indie games like Battlefield 6? Yeah, of course. Of course. I'm gonna be out there in the trenches, cheering for players to support sweet little indie devs like DICE. What about indie games like Nine Souls? Nope. Ew. Quadruple A trash. Ubisoft trash. I won't touch it with a fucking 10-foot pole, okay? I play fucking underground shit. I play shit you never even heard of, okay? Like Fortnite. I play shit that is on the edge. Like Peak. Probably gonna play Peak today, honestly. But I have to talk about the tariffs because it is Tariff-Maggeddon day. But I'm also eating my burger. I'm sorry, Europeans. If you don't get it, it's an important thing in an American's day. I have to eat my daily burger, okay? And so you guys might not think it's important, but it's fucking important. And I even got a real bun. I even got a real fucking bun. And so to act like I have to skip this is fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. It's a real goddamn American burger, and it's like a part of my day. It's a ritual. As recommended by your personal trainer. Yeah, exactly. He said get a big, juicy, honking burger. How many patties? If it's less than 2, I'm leaving. There's 2 patties. Who's going to get a single patty burger, bro? It doesn't fill you up. Diet going strong, I see. Okay, let's first of all, what is this? What is this attack? What is this? What? Why am I getting fucking shot at here? Dear God. Okay, I hired a trainer that wasn't you. It's not you. Not your job. I had a very healthy meal, a healthy series of meals today. I'm having a little burger. Okay? It was convenient on our way home. Do you see all these people making videos of their dead parents and stuff? Isn't that like Harry Potter paintings? Let me know, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Honest to God. You guys are you're bringing way too fucking much to me right now. I just opened. I just started. Okay? Let's chill. Let's fucking bring it down. Are we scaring the hoes? Yeah. I think you are in a way. Hey, Truck, I was asked my thoughts on GPT-5 today, and you hadn't put out a clip, so I floundered and said, I just used Google Maps IDK about other GPs. Thanks for nothing. Well, you fucking won that interaction. Good shit. Well, you don't need a clip from me, bro. You got Riz. You got wit. That's awesome. You fucking clutched it up. It's crazy because that makes no sense as a response. And that's why I love it. That makes no sense. That's great. Murray, and what's also awesome is that you muted the stream. You have the stream muted. I can see it right there. So you just let that shit bang, and I appreciate that. Yeah, you know more than Secretary of Education. I'll tell you that. You're more in tune. All right. Jeez. Have you watched Industry on HBO Max? I haven't, but I heard that it might be a show up my alley. I did hear that, but I have not watched it. The only show I've been watching lately is the new season of Sunny, which has been quite good, very funny. They've been consistently good for a very long time. I love Sunny, man. I love Sunny. Yeah, the microdosing, the episode where they microdosed ghost peppers was like a return to form. It was like it was like a classic great Sunny episode. I mean, I think every season's great, but that was a great ep. I really enjoyed it. Topo Chico I have to eat my burger. It's getting cold. Wait, let's put on. We gotta watch something. We gotta watch something. Somebody get smarter Saturday. Emergency GSS. Emergency GSS. IQs need to rise. Emergency. 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 I need a YouTube video. Okay, you can't. As every Zoomer in this country knows, you can't eat a meal without a YouTube video to distract your brain. Okay, that's just a fucking rule. Otherwise, you'll have to be stuck with your thoughts and you'll go fucking crazy. No, you need a YouTube video to put your brain to mush. There's a new Almost Friday, but it's too short for what I want. Damn, I'm fucking. There's a company, man, about the decline of Krispy Kreme, which is only funny to me because Krispy Kreme stock is rising astronomically. And it's just because it's a meme stock. So as the company does actually worse, the stock does better because we live in a real world with a real financial system that makes total sense. Could watch that. Swiss web design, simple but it works. I don't care. Phoebe, I'm sure you're very nice, and whoever submitted this, I'm sure it's very interesting. I am so uninterested. I'm so uninterested. That's crazy. It's like my brain wanted to scroll up mentally as I read it. How cheese changed the world. Modern marvels. Full episode. I don't know why that's so different from this, but that is interesting to me. I kind of want to know. How did cheese change the world? Oh, that's fucking interesting. No, not one of these. This is horseshit, dude. There's now like 100 of these channels. And I don't know how they're making this animation with AI, but they must be. Because they're all farting out this same animation style. And it's all about every different... it's like, I don't know if it's Fiverr or what, but there's a million of these. And they just put the Wikipedia for some financial crisis into the thing, and then they spit out one of these. I do want to watch this. Why Trump economy hasn't cracked under tariffs yet, but probably after I give a little update. This is about glizzies, which I'm interested in, obviously. Fart with reverb sound effect is interesting. The killer pigs of the Middle Ages is interesting. Elon Musk fired my wife. I'm selling my Tesla. Things got personal from Engineering Explained. What the fuck?
Elon Musk had my wife fired from her dream job. Woo! Y'all, grab some popcorn. This one's gonna get spicy.
Oh, perfect. I got a burger.
That's good. All right, quick story. On Valentine's Day 2025, I was doing what any perfect husband would be doing. Snow drifting in a GR Corolla by myself, well over 1,000 miles away from my lovely wife. Just to set the record straight, I'm not a good person, but I do have a lot of fun. Now that morning, my wife sends me a text. I've been fired.
Is this real? This is some Linkish shit, dude. Hey, he's 1,000 miles away. It's too loud. I'm sorry. I gotta fix that. That's actually easily fixable. I'm sort of an audio wizard, so if you ever have a problem with the audio, you just hit me up and I will instantly fix it. Audio issues do not persist in this stream. That's one thing we know about this stream. If there's ever an audio issue, even for a moment, we fix it instantly and and we move on. Okay? So, don't worry. So, okay, he's 1,000 miles away from his wife on Valentine's Day, and she gets fired. Fired on Valentine's Day is crazy.
Not too long after, I crashed into a snowbank. I'm sure it's unrelated. So maybe you're thinking, oh, Jason, your wife worked for Tesla? Cool. Is that why you're so often singing Tesla's praises? No. My wife works for U.S. Fish and Wildlife. She's a federal employee, and she was fired by the dinguses. Oh, I'm sorry, it says geniuses, bad at reading, at the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, which was led by Elon Musk at the time. So this leaves me with two options. Option one,
I could pause and say it's kind of funny that we've all just stopped talking about DOGE now that he's gone and moved on from it. Because it really was like a 4 to 5 month experiment where they said they were going to change the world and fix government inefficiency. Then they didn't do that, and then they're gone. And then Elon Musk called Trump a pedophile. It's really funny. It's really funny that happened. It's funny that is how that shook out. Because I remember, like, if you flash back to the election, it sounds like a million years ago, but it was just November of last year. If you told somebody that, they would not believe you. They just it would sound absurd. The idea that Elon and Trump would be enemies, that Doge would only last a short period of time. I remember, dude, it's why the reason it sticks in my head so much is because I read these Substacks of very smart people. They're all smarter than me, bro. They all have these intricate thoughts and data and charts, and I like reading them. But I distinctly remember one from a guy who wrote, the reason we should trust Doge is because it's going to have... Sorry, I'm blanking on his name. Who's the other guy in Doge? It was Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah. He was like, listen, above all else, Doge is going to work because Vivek Ramaswamy knows what he's doing. And then, like, Vivek Ramaswamy didn't even make it to the launch of Doge. I know. It's just funny. Like, Vivek didn't even make it to the launch of Doge, and then Doge didn't even make it 6 months. It was wild. It was wild. And I just remember reading that full long-form piece and thinking, well, I disagree, but he's got some good points. You know, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. And man, that worked out so funnily. Anyway, let's
sell my Tesla. Or option two, oh, hey, what do you know? Oops. Actually, that's really expensive. I need that. Let me put aside jokes for just 1 second. My wife is genuinely the most amazing person I've ever met. And I've met Keanu Reeves. My wife is brilliant. She's ambitious. She's a tougher human than I am while being more beautiful.
Wife guy.
I don't think anyone was doubting those last two. She has a level of empathy for the natural world that is just so refreshing and warming to see. Reminds me of my comments section. She's an incredible human, and so with all of that mushiness out of the way, you're right, I'm gonna take this opportunity to throw some jokes Elon's way. Not only because comedy is now legal, but also because he played a very large role in ripping apart her career. We'll get into that later in the video, and she'll get back on her feet. She's resilient, she's determined, and nothing is forever, except for videos you post on the internet.
Listen, your wife can't be all those cool things because my wife is, okay? So you're a fucking wife guy. All right? You're a wife guy. I'm just being honest.
You should have gotten a haircut. But this isn't about me. We're here to talk about what it's been like living with an electric car the past 7 years. More specifically, the Model 3 performance. Okay. And, you know, lightly roast Elon, which he does not make difficult. But honestly, this car has been great to me. Let's start with a bit of a cost breakdown, starting with energy. I've driven the car over 63,000 miles, using about 18,400 kilowatt hours of energy. Based on my electricity pricing, that has cost me less than $2,000. Under $2,000 to drive a car 63,000 miles. For reference, if I were to drive a comparably powerful gas-powered sedan, it would have likely cost me over $12,000. It is really impressive how fast this thing is, while also being very cheap to run. Now, of course, part of that cost is maintenance, so I'll put up everything on screen that has happened with my car as far as service, whether performed by Tesla or myself, which comes to a grand total of $3,262.10.
This is a full Tesla car review. For what it's worth, I think the car's fine. It's good. I mean, people like it. I never said I had a problem with Tesla's car. The main thing is that there's just more competition now than there was. BYD, not even just BYD. I mean, even the Western car manufacturers have more comparable cars now. So it's just, and the model hasn't been updated. It's the same as it was when it first launched. I mean, slight refresh, but.
Now, that number is high mostly because of hitting a pothole in 20-inch wheels, which blew 2 tires and 2 wheels, costing over $2,600. So realistically, excluding the exploded wheels, my total maintenance was under $600 for 7 years and 60,000 miles. Not bad at all. And honestly, not having to think about oil changes is truly the best. Now, you might be wondering about tires, because EVs are heavy and have a ton of torque, so they go through tires quickly. The thing is, I
don't actually care. I wanted to see if he was gonna. I mean, I'm not in the market. I don't care.
This is $55,000 for the new one. Okay. Almost everything about the car is excellent. The whole experience, start to finish. But, and it is a big but, relatable. There's one feature that's absolutely horrendous, and that is the automatic windshield wipers. They're about as useful as I would be in a cage fight against Mark Zuckerberg.
Review?
Elon knows what I'm talking about. Even 7 years after owning it, if it's lightly raining and you go in reverse, the wipers go absolutely bananas. It makes no sense. I'm not even driving that direction. So dumb. But you know what's not dumb? That's right, bald eagles. Everyone loves bald eagles. The bald eagle has been a symbol of the United States since 1782.
I'm done with this video. That's a million views. I guess it's just for people that really like cars and they want to hear a fucking detailed breakdown. It's just not my. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I know wrong, but that's not my video. I need something different. Before we talk about tariffs. Extreme revenge stories. It's got 2 million views. Holy. The evil president no one elected. I'm gonna guess what this video is. I swear to God, this trend has been happening more recently because of the amount of Zoomers that have never watched something outside of YouTube. This is probably the movie Vice just repackaged into a fucking... I feel like so many fucking YouTube videos now, I can see, because I've seen the documentary it's based on or whatever, they just steal it. They just steal the full documentary, they package it down into a YouTube thing. They're just fucking yoinking something they... Oh, it's fucking annoying. It's fucking annoying. Do the first viral videos still hit? H. Bomber guy did a video on this. That's my video? What about my video? Excuse me? Which documentary did I steal from? Ryan Higa? A purple dildo. We saw that. We talked about it in the podcast. How Stalin was brought to court in Soviet Russia. Oh, that's the big A one? I see. Yeah. We should watch that. But the thing is, if I click on it, then you guys are all stealing from me. You need to watch it all with full watch time on your own. Bad driving has become normalized. Is this true? I feel like everybody says this because they think every driver other than themselves is bad. I don't know if this is true. I don't think anything's different. Low key, yeah. Actually, the one thing I'll say is that I think for a few years there was this battle to like stop people from looking at their phones while driving, and I feel like society's given up. I feel like society's given up. Like people have just completely even abandoned the pretense that you should like pretend not to look at your phone while driving. I see it all the time, bro. I guess we could take a quick peek. What's his?
There's a common phrase among urbanists that goes, "You're not stuck in traffic, you are traffic," referring to drivers who complain about congestion, not realizing that they are contributing to it. Suburbanites will say that the city is noisy, not realizing that most of that noise comes from suburbanites driving their cars into the city. Some people will complain that building bike lanes or transit lanes will make pollution worse because cars will spend more time idling in traffic, not realizing that providing viable alternatives to driving will mean fewer people need to drive in the first place. British psychologist Ian Walker refers to this as motor normativity, also known as car brain. Many cities in North America are designed exclusively for cars. It didn't used to be that way, nor does it have to be. But because driving is so normalized, people view cars as the default form of transportation and can't comprehend how it's possible to live without them. Car crashes and dangerous driving are seen as unavoidable. It's just an everyday part of modern life. I mean, there's an entire genre on YouTube with thousands of videos dedicated to car crashes.
Damn, big views. I should get into that. What if I just like drove around trying to start car accidents? Do you think my content could pop off?
Compilations. And there's even an entire TV show called Canada's Worst Driver that has over 14 seasons and 115 episodes.
You would rate
Stopped at a green light. You're stopped at a green light?
Yes.
This assumption that everyone should drive and has to drive results in many bad drivers on the road because, believe it or not, some people are just not cut out to drive. And that's completely fine. Yet, we consistently build cities exclusively for cars and design streets that prioritize vehicle speeds rather than the safety of people.
Okay.
We need to change the way we approach road safety because, as of now, bad driving has become normalized.
What are you saying, fam? Yo! What, fam? Yo!
Toronto's most notorious speed camera was just taken down.
Everyone speeds. This is not a good video for me either. I mean, I get it. I need some, bro. Take that brain. I don't have to take that brain, bro. I feel like I'm just seeing the Matrix, bro. I'm seeing the Matrix. I'm seeing what I've seen that video 50 times in 50 ways. I get it, bro. I fucking get it. I know what you're gonna say before you say it. We gotta, I don't know. Dead internet? It's not dead internet. That's a human being that made something. I just feel like I know what they're gonna say. Danny Gonzalez got hypnotized to see if it's fake, but I think it is fake. Is my face edited there? That's my face? Why do I have these evil looking eyes? Lex Fraudman. The surprising factor that determines English fluency. The scandal that broke the 90s. Is this Bill Clinton sleeping with Monica Lewinsky, but they YouTubeified it and said too much Riz? That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. I almost want to click it. I gotta know, do they stick to that? Or is that just the clickbait? The scandal that broke the 90s. Too much
But
reach.
please, don't tell Mrs. Clinton.
Jim, let me tell you something. There's going to be a whole bunch of things we don't tell Mrs. Clinton.
All right, you wanted this, you little freak, so here we go. You want to hear about one of the weirdest political scandals in history? Well, first we have to start at the start of Clinton's political career. Bill Clinton's rise to the White House was frankly ridiculously simple. Only 3 years after graduating law school, he ran for Attorney General of Arkansas and somehow won. And only 2 years later, he ran for governor and won at only 32. It really is that easy for some people. In 92, Clinton decided to run for president.
This is so funny to me because it's all the markings of like a fast edited, brain rot video, but it's about a 90s political scandal. This is so interesting. It's like they're going to do this about OPEC forming in the 70s. Whatever. It's gonna just pick a random thing. But I guess people still want to learn, which is kind of cool. This video is actually probably fine, but I just wanted to see what it was like. Is that history class should be taught? I mean, maybe. I think I don't want to be too harsh here. Like, if this got someone to learn, that would be cool. History class could be boring and no one, that's not bad. I got no problem with it, but it's a little much for me. The working man's breakfast. That looks delicious, but it's actually it's a little British for me. Probably could cut some of that down, but it does look good. AI breakfast. I thought that might be the case because of the way it's framed and everything, but it's 2 years ago. Less likely. Climbing games are fun because they're not fun. Insane end of the 90s. Y2K, it was real. Hu Jintao, China's erased hero. All the work, all the credit. There's a lot of this guy. Wow. Oh, my computer's crashing. Wait, why is my entire Chrome crashing? Does Gizmodo Saturday overflow after a certain number of... okay. 5K PC? No. You guys want to watch Aiden Calvin on the Stand show for an hour and 14? Really get into the weeds? See what Aiden's up to? I mean, I already finished my meal, so I'm actually ready to talk about tariffs and stuff, but I thought we could watch one more thing. Maybe just almost Friday. What happened to Dell? How the Pope made DraftKings millions? It's kind of interesting. Can AI manage a vending machine? That was a good story from Doug. Why China's building ships in the desert 4 weeks ago? I mean, is it possible they're just building them there and then moving them to the ocean? Is that possible? Or what? I doubt they're building an aircraft carrier that's on some bunch of dunes. They're desert ships. It's like Dune. It's a Dune situation. Why the FBI targeted me at 15. Okay. Why we hate engineers. I don't know that we necessarily hate engineers. There's a certain type of engineer that people find annoying. What is the best flying type Pokemon? Dude, I saw this recently. Listen, Wolfie's the GOAT. Wolfie's the GOAT. And it's actually, he reminds me a bit of like Hera and AoE, where he's like the best content creator of the scene and the best player, which is like such an insane combo. But these are infinite number of videos that have this type of thumbnail, and then people just like it. I don't know why. They just love it. I tried watching a couple. They're good. They're good. They're actually super well made. You have to care about every single. I don't know. You have to care about every single. He has 2 types left. Oh, he's gonna run out of types. The editing makes it unwatchable. I thought the editing was really good. No, I think the videos are actually super well made. They have a great script. It's just like, I don't know. I think people are just watching it because of the comfort. Because if you're watching it for the information, then you have to basically want to play competitive Pokemon at a high level. Because you have to constantly care over who the best water, fire, flying, rock, ghost type Pokemon is for an hour. You just have to care. You have to deeply care. We live inside a huge 1 million degree plasma bubble. Sick. That's fucking sick. History of Red Faction World Records. Half Sword Duel. Realistic, non-choreographed medieval combat. Doesn't Half Sword look really stupid? This is a real duel. This is a real duel. Did you clickbait me? I thought it was in the game Half Sword. Wait, is this not real? I can't. This is real, right? This is real people. This is AI? I'm fucking losing my mind. This is real, right? I need to check what the fuck is going on. Okay, this is real. I was losing my mind, dude. It's real. I was like, damn. I was like, this is actually fucking crazy. I was actually about to be kind of blown away, dude. Okay, here's an actual Half Sword duel. Why are they moving so slowly? The armor? Just simply be stronger. Stop fighting. Why aren't they rolling? Why aren't they doing quick rolls to get iframes? I mean, this looks realistic to what a fight would actually be like. Which is pretty fucking brutal. Oh my god. You're cooked, brother. Damn! He killed him for real. This is a snuff film. Holy. 07. Why don't they just use a gun? Are they stupid? Yeah. Famously, medieval Europeans were really stupid. They knew about guns. They knew they existed, but they never bought them. They only got swords because they thought it was better. Pretty silly of Europeans. You never know where they're gonna go. Sigma grind set. Just go to Walmart. Just go to Walmart and pick up a gun. That's what an American would do. Very good acting by both. I mean, it was cool. That was cool. It was cool. I liked it because it was very realistic. You would just get. It would become a brawl so quickly. There wouldn't be like a fancy, the way it looks in a movie. Dude, I was watching the movie Troy relatively recently, and I love the movie Troy. Don't get me wrong, I love the movie Troy. But there's a part in Troy when they're like it's giant armies smashing into against each other, and then like the two leads in their armor, there's like a circle appears. Everyone like spreads apart into a circle so they can fight one-on-one, and like this. It's like you know, that wouldn't happen. These people are gonna coordinate into a. You have to let the main characters fight. Yeah, I guess. Why it sucks to be born as a flying fish. Okay, I won't select that option on character select when I die. Micro! We like those guys. Why the internet really wants your ID and why now? This could be interesting. That is happening a lot lately. Let's watch this.
In late June, Australia
Covers the UK stuff, but I think the laws are happening all over the place. These ID verification laws, there's laws that are like trying to ban VPN. There's laws that are, it's all very great firewall, but outside of China.
made an amendment to the Social Media Minimum Age Act that expanded its scope to block access to sites like YouTube for anybody in the country under the age of 16. This was in addition to bans already in place for more traditional social media sites like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Reddit.
Those are actually in place? Do we have any Australians here? Can you confirm? We did a video on this, but I thought it didn't actually go through. They're not. Okay. Not here yet. Guess what I thought? They take place in December. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I did a video on this because I thought it was interesting. And I even was sympathetic to the cause. I actually think, you know, an under 16 ban on some social media might not be that crazy, bro. It might not be that crazy. It might not be that crazy. People's brains are getting cooked. So that particularly I don't have a problem with, but I think the point of maybe not this video, but the complaints I'm seeing is that once you roll out ways to verifiably turn off websites for people and they have to all register with their age and ID and face, you can then more easily censor or block them or punish them or whatever. That's the idea.
From then, over the course of just 30 days, a wave of governments and tech platforms have started following the old penal colony's lead. Here in the UK, the government introduced new laws requiring robust age verification checks for residents wanting to access materials that would, make Jesus sad. The EU began trials of age check systems for social media, and in America, several states have started rolling out age verification requirements, all under the guise of limiting minors' access to harmful social media and smut. Now, if there's one thing we all know about tech companies, it's that they can lobby against pretty much anything they don't like. But on this particular issue, they're actually pushing for these regulations harder than the governments.
Interesting.
Starting in about a week from when this video is posted, YouTube will be introducing an AI system to guesstimate your age based on your watch patterns and activity. So if it sees all the mindless slop you've been consuming,
That's actually so funny. So many man children are cooked. Oh no. Yeah, you gotta, dude, it's gonna be so funny. Children have to stomach like an hour of golf highlights just to reset their algorithm. They're gonna have to watch fucking Roblox brain slop for an hour and then stick in a fucking golf tournament. Just put it on while they sleep. Yeah, exactly. That's really funny. 4-hour World War I documentary. Put that on while you sleep and you get at least a month of free brain rot.
and determines you're under 16, it's going to restrict access to certain videos, change your advertising selection, and limit comments and uploads. They'll be joining other platforms like Discord, Spotify, and Meta, which have already started rolling out similar systems behind the scenes. Now, of course, there is one simple fix to get around all of these new limitations. All you need to do is hand over your identification.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed a new law that will force Apple and Google to verify users' ages.
We want them to have real experiences with real people.
Verifying your age keeps a child safe.
It's about how dangerous social media is for our children.
The time to act is now. We must protect our children so that we can protect their future.
Yeah, I always get a little spooked out when someone who looks like this says we have to protect the children. I'll just be honest with you. When one with a cross necklace tells me that we got to protect our children, I always feel like there's going to be some bad laws coming. It's tough. It's tough. I truly wish there was like a magic button I could press and it just made people under 16 not able to get completely mind fucked by social media. But I also know that governments could abuse this power. It's a tough call.
Their future.
Protecting the children has always been an effective way to push through policies that the general public would otherwise be opposed to. Nobody in today's political climate wants to be on record saying anything other than they support protecting children. Social media companies are also largely unpopular with the general public, so for lawmakers, it's a slam dunk case that's very hard to oppose. A recent survey conducted by Pew Research found that most adults overwhelmingly support more control on how children engage with these platforms.
Yeah.
But popular messages like this have always been used to push through otherwise unpopular changes like banning books, mandating security backends on devices.
Sorry, Captain Underpants?
Through otherwise unpopular changes like banning.
Captain Underpants was pulled for passive racism? What was racist about Captain Underpants? They canceled Captain Underpants? This is 2021. This was an era. That's crazy. That's great. That's crazy to me. I didn't.
Books, mandating security backends on devices, prohibitions, and censorship. Now, I know that's probably not a shock to you, but what may be surprising is why big tech companies are so willing to go along with these new changes, because there are genuine business liabilities that come with these rules. At the very same time that these new laws were being rolled out across the world, one of the most severe data breaches ever was taking place. The app T was intended to be used exclusively by women, so for verification, the company required new users to confirm their gender with a picture and their government-issued ID. Instead of being deleted after this verification, like the app claimed it would be, these files were kept unsecured on an open URL, resulting in...
I was talking with Doug about this. Apparently, they just had like a plain text file with everything in it, and you could find it by changing the URL in your browser to... That's fucking crazy. And yeah, apparently it was vibe coded. They made the app with AI, and there just wasn't a security. That's wild. That's fucking wild.
Tens of thousands of users having their most sensitive data leaked. Now, the original intention of this app and its strict identity verification was either for women's safety or doxing men, depending on who you ask. The whole fallout has become incredibly political, which is probably the only reason you've actually heard about it. Similar breaches are becoming more and more common all the time. Allianz Life Insurance lost the data of 1.4 million of their customers, and companies like Google, Apple, and Telegram lost 16 billion login details. Now, these would be bad enough as once-in-a-decade hacks, but all of these happened within just the last 30 days. The point is,
Is that why I'm getting fucking hacked on Twitter all the time? Did my shit get leaked? Why is my password out there? My old password? I don't understand, dude. Listen, I thought it was just a content creator thing, because every single day, I shit you not, for over a year and a half now, I get password reset requests on everything. Every day, someone is trying to hack me, and someone's trying to get. It's very annoying, obviously, but you just fucking deal with it. you just deal with it, and you never respond to it. You check, but then they got into Twitter, I guess. Check this. Have I been pwned.com? Have I been pwned? What? How can I trust you? What if I open this up and it says you've been pwned, you've been hacked? What if I click this fucking link and it starts fucking mining crypto on my computer? This email has been found in multiple data breaches. Great. Fucking great. Awesome. Dude, I put it in a different email. Wait. Twitter was hacked, it says on here. That's good. There was a Smogon data breach. I put it in an old email. This shit got hacked from the Pokemon Smogon website. The fucking Gary's Mod Face Punch Studio got hacked. Team Solo Mid website got hacked. Tumblr got hacked. Last FM got hacked. Chegg. Dude, I put in my my oldest email and it's like, yeah, this got revealed in a Chegg data breach back when I was fucking trying to cheat in school. That's great. That's great. Good. My info was stolen from Club Penguin. You'd think the hackers would have a fucking ounce of honor. Do you know what I'm saying? Hack the IRS, sure. Hack banks, sure. But hack Club Penguin? Isn't that considered to be sacred ground? Isn't that where a lot of hackers came up? It's just too far, dude. It's a fucking... It's a fucking disaster is what it is. Well, anyway, I guess of all the things that could have gotten hacked, Twitter was the best. Low-key. I know that sounds crazy, but like, it made me change all my passwords to everything. And, you know, if it had been like something else, you know, a bank or something, it could have been way worse. So, and you should be two-factored? Dude, they charge for it on Twitter. I don't tell you this. They charge for you. You have to fucking... My bank is such a good password, I don't even know it. That's not that good, then. You should know it. All right, well, where were we in this?
Website that's holding onto your personal details is a big risk for you and a big risk for them. So for businesses to be embracing this so wholeheartedly, there needs to be some upside. Now you might just think that if they get your ID, that's simply more data they can use to optimize content recommendations and advertising towards you, but it's not quite that simple. If you use their services frequently enough, even average tech companies can find out more about you than anything they're going to get off your driver's license or passport.
Sure.
The reason why suggestions served to you through platforms such as Google AdSense, Amazon, or Meta Ads seem so targeted is because even without logging into a dedicated profile, they can track thousands of variables to build up a pretty good idea of...
My chat told me it's because they have a microphone on my phone that's always listening, and then there literally goes to Jeff Bezos' desk, and he listens in, and he goes, wait a minute, I think he's talking about Oreos. And then he tells his fucking guy to go send me ads for Oreos. Is that what you did when you worked at Amazon? Yeah, that was my full-time job. Sometimes it's assistant. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I did it for Jeff. Jeff would be like, hey, I'm going to be on the yacht today, Brandon. Can you just listen to the phone calls of 300 million Americans?
Who you are and what you're into. They don't need your ID to sell ads to you. The real motivation is that companies like Amazon, Google, and Apple are already investing heavily into what they're calling digital credentials. About 11 months ago, Google quietly launched the Digital Credentials API to developers, which, in their own words, allows websites to selectively request verifiable information about the user through digital credentials such as a driver's license or a national identification card stored on a digital wallet. The idea is that instead of handing out your identity to hundreds of different sites individually as new laws start requiring it, you just thoroughly verify your ID with a company like Google, and then they verify you on your behalf to all these other sites. Now, before we get into issues with this system,
logging in with your government ID, Google and hell to Pornhub.
Verify you on your behalf to all these other sites. Now, before we get into issues with this system, and believe me, there are issues, it's important to understand how this is going to be solved. The benefit to you is that you only need to stand up and take a selfie holding up your license and some number of fingers once, instead of dozens of times for every site that starts requiring your ID. It also does generally cut down on the risk that your identity will be stolen through a hack because it limits how many different places are holding your actual credentials. Right. And for what it's worth, a company like Google is more likely to keep that data secured properly over some of the more sketchy digital domains you're probably thinking of trekking into. And that's actually the point. Every data breach that makes headlines is a way to market these new services as a safer alternative. In a way, what Google is hoping to become is like a PayPal for your identity. Instead of handing out your sensitive details everywhere.
I mean, this already exists. I feel like half people in the chat already do this. I do this. I log into almost every place with Google because it already has autofill on my stuff. You know, if you're like signing up for an account, I don't make a new username and password. I just sign in with Google. LOL, okay, my Google got hacked and someone bought ads with it. Someone hacked your Google to buy ads? For what? For their fucking... Dropship? Mobile games?
You just hand it to one reputable third party. Now, the business potential of such a system, if it were to be widely adopted, is massive. The reason that these companies aren't generally supportive of this legislation is because they stand to more than make up the revenue from losing people under the age of 18 off their platforms, and then some. It wouldn't give a company like Google anything they don't already know about you, but what it would do is allow them to serve you an ad like, "Congratulations, you're already pre-approved for this credit card or this buy now, pay later service."
They do this anyway.
Web pages using the Login with Google feature could automatically remove things like credit checks or personal information entry, which stands as a barrier between you and them completing a sale. It would also make it really hard for sites offering services like gambling to not work with Google, because if people get used to using their inbuilt ID verification, they're instinctively going to go where it's offered, and be skeptical of sites that want to do things the old-fashioned way. This would make their advertising business far more lucrative in certain fields like financial services, gaming, and pharmaceuticals. It would also potentially open up a new revenue source for them, as online businesses would need to pay a fee to them for their identification services, the same way that PayPal takes a commission on transaction processing.
Well, that's not cool.
The problem for Google and other companies trying to...
No, if they have to pay a fee to it, then either don't do it at all, or it has to be like a government agency, really. You would need to have some sort of like ID, digital ID.
To roll out similar services is that nobody really wants this. Another Pew Research survey found that the overwhelming majority of surveyed participants would prefer to use the internet anonymously. Now, they could slowly push people to get on board with it through a long marketing campaign and a gradual rollout, but that's going to be slow and expensive. Even if it's just out of laziness, most people aren't going to sign up for a digital credential system unless they really need to. So the best strategy for these companies is to make sure that people really need to. Tech companies have been spending millions of dollars in lobbying on these laws around the world, but they haven't been paying to fight the regulations, they've been paying to shape them. Google's own announcement of their new credential system included a reference to the European Union's eIDAS 2.0 system as proof of how essential this new tool would become. But these particular regulations are something that they themselves have been heavily involved in influencing. In other words, they are creating the need and then providing the solution. If
Good
in a
idea.
week's time, when YouTube automatically detects that you may be under 18 and asks for your ID to prove otherwise, you would have already taken the first step into their new, highly lucrative...
Dude, automatically taking you under 18 with AI is crazy. I feel like that is a crazy system. So stupid, every kid will find a workaround. Well, I think the workaround will be just to sign up. Like, just to get in their system, and then they've got you. Put on a fake beard.
ID ecosystem. Now, there are absolutely other motivations for pushing through these rules from different parties as well. Governments will have more oversight over their people's online activities, e-commerce businesses will have a smoother sales process, and I'm sure some people out there genuinely do care about the children. But to make sense of unpopular decisions, generally the best place to start looking is with who stands to make the most money.
Okay, yeah, good point.
Now, this feels like it would have been a great time to segue to some kind of VPN or data broker to delete me. But instead of that, I'm just going to shamelessly plug my own channel instead. After last week's video got so much attention, we're incredibly close to 100,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy the occasional expose mixed in with lots of videos about ships and micro...
Good luck, Micro. WWW. Yeah, it was a good video. Interesting. I mean, it's a tough one for me. I actually don't know where I stand. I don't know fully where I stand yet. In that, I am both skeptical of the government's and big tech's ability to not abuse these powers, and then also some way of, I mean, I guess we could just say you don't regulate it and the parents need to be involved, but it just seems like parents are not doing that. like the idea that parents are going to all collectively realize that their kids are getting brain rotted by social media is not going to happen. So I don't know. I don't know how to... I don't know what the solution is. You can't have perfect security or perfect privacy. Thanks, Ben Franklin. I'm aware. That's why it's a tough question. Sad that the future generations will be robbed of watching people get killed on live leak at an age they have no way to process it. You know what's funny is they won't even get robbed of that. They'll in fact be kind of pushed towards it because LiveLeak's not going to have the fucking login. YouTube will, Facebook will, Instagram will, but LiveLeak will be open season. By the way, Twitter, you see that shit all the time. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm pretty skeptical that, like, for example, that banning Instagram or whatever stops teens from being addicted to their phone. If only because it's happened in places. Like TikTok got banned in India or whatever. They just go to a different app. They don't change their addiction to the phone. They just change the app they do it on. So I don't think it'll happen. So ban phones in school. That's a real thing. That's real. That's concrete. I think most people would agree with that. Banning phones in school. It's a physical thing. You can ban it. It's not that hard. I mean, you can enforce it. You could. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but you can do it. You can make it consistent. You could. My school tried. You need to pay teachers more for them to truly care. It's interesting. I have heard that. I've heard that some schools try, and it works for a while, and then everyone gets kind of lazy, and then it floods back. That's what I've heard. But that's not everywhere. That's just some places. Some places have done it, and it's worked. It's like a culture thing. It's hard to say what's successful and what's not. Teachers are so lazy and overpaid. The parents are a big problem. Yeah, I mean, I did a video on this. I talked about this. The parents, if you ask them at a high level, Do they think there should be less phones in school? They say yes. But if there's actually rules to ban phones in school, the parents actually freak out. The parents go, wait, not my kid. I need to be able to talk to my kid at all times. The parents really, really want to be able to contact their children at all times. H-Rock, did they cane children in your era? No, they hadn't invented the cane yet. We had stones and chisels back then. School shootings is a cited concern. Yeah, I know. That's what was in the video as well. But yeah, parents are afraid of not being able to contact their kid during a school shooting. But obviously, like, it's crazy that is, you know, there's like proven damage to learning from having phones in schools. So it's just making the school less useful consistently for every student on the off chance that there's a... we should ban school shootings. That's a good idea. What if we just make school shootings illegal? First time here, I thought Adish was editing the overlay. The whoosh is real. The whoosh is fucking real. First time here and you dropped a sub? Indecisive melon. Indecisive melon. Stupid fucking name. The whoosh is real, but it is edited in by Adish Live. Like, every time I want to have someone pulled on screen, I text Adish, and then he makes the whoosh sound with his mouth. He goes, whoosh, into a microphone, and then it does this. He's consistent. He's actually, he's fucking, he's on the ball. Paid chatter, thanks. Who's Hal? Very nice of you. Ishraq, would there be more kids repeating gears these days? Would there be more kids repeating gears? Wouldn't more kids be failing written tests and exams if there's no access to GPT? What do you mean there's no access to GPT? Oh, do you mean that if we got rid of phones, kids would fail more often because they can't cheat with ChatGPT? Is that your point? Your point is if we don't let them cheat, they'll fail? And so think of the test scores? No, I don't. I don't think they'll fail at drastically higher rates than any previous generations if the phone was actually banned. I don't think that's true. But that argument is insane. Like, to know that everyone's cheating and say, well, we can't stop them from cheating or they won't pass. Like, what's the fucking point? What's the fucking point, dude? HR wants to make America look bad? I don't want to do that. The fact is, phones in class is a non-issue for the actual quality of education. Yeah, I disagree with you, Slim Zero. I think there's a lot of data that shows the opposite. I think there's a lot of data that shows that phones in class, like even actually, the studies I saw showed that having the phone in your peripheral vision decreases your focus like 13%. Like, just knowing that the phone is in your sight makes you less focused because your brain is already preparing for a notification or for, yeah, having the phone physically in the room decreases learning ability. Not for me and my dry ass phone. Relevant? What's this? Relevant. What the freak happened to... Oh, yeah, I saw this. The theory is that ChatGPT usage fell off when school was out. Like around June 6th. I don't know. It seems too convenient, but it is funny. It dips on the weekends too. Yeah. It would not surprise me if still the number one use case for ChatGPT regularly is cheating in school. Actually, that would not surprise me because that is the most consistent, regular reason people discuss using it. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about 5.0. GPT 5.0 came out today. I haven't watched their announcement conference. I heard it was like, the vibes were atrocious. GPT 5. Not getting the AGI clause with that. But here's what I heard. So is there like a does OpenAI have a video of their conference? OpenAI GPT 5. Let's see. GPT 5 finally released. Here's the main takeaway. Before we even get into whatever they say, here's the main takeaway. Because I looked into this today, and I played around with it. GPT-5, the main difference that I can tell is that it no longer says, that's not X, that's Y. So the main identifier of AI writing has been knocked out. That is the biggest change. M dash is still. I didn't look for that. I didn't notice. Oh.
Good morning. 32 months ago, we launched ChatGPT. And since then, it has become the default way that people use AI. In that first...
It's the complete lack of riz for me. It's the horrible stance. Oh, God. Someone bring back Steve Jobs, please, God. Why? Our crap at tech billionaires have completely lost riz. They've lost aura. My God, I wish he was meaner to his daughter and better on stage. Okay, that's what I want. I need a Steve Jobs.
First week, 1 million people tried it out. And we thought that was pretty incredible. But now, about 700 million people use ChatGPT every week and increasingly rely on it to work, to learn, for advice, to create, and much more. Today, finally, we're launching GPT-5. GPT-5 is a major upgrade over GPT-4 and a significant step along our path to AGI. Now, today, we're going to show you some incredible demos. We'll talk about some performance metrics. Okay. But the important point is this. We think you will love using GPT-5 much more than any previous AI. It is useful, it is smart, it is fast, and it's intuitive. GPT-3 was sort of like talking to a high school student. There were flashes of brilliance, lots of... I
think my understanding, I was reading about this on social media today, could be wrong. My understanding is this is not a real audience. Like this whole thing, though, it feels so weird because it's not a real audience. Like it's they have the back of the heads, but it's not. I don't know if it's generated or it's employees that are filling in the seat, but it's not. This wasn't a live show where people came and sat down. And he still seems nervous. He does. He seems nervous like there's 100,000 people out there, but it's not. It's like either your own employees or nobody.
But people started to use it and get some value out of it. With GPT-4, maybe it was like talking to a college student. Real intelligence, real utility. But with GPT-5, now it's like talking to an expert, a legitimate PhD-level expert in anything, any area you need, on demand, that can help you with whatever your goals are. And We are very excited that you'll get to try this. But it's not only asking now. GPT-5 can also do stuff for you. It can write an entire computer program from scratch to help you with whatever you'd like. And we think this idea of software on demand is going to be one of the defining characteristics of the GPT-5 era. It can help you plan a party, send invitations, order supplies.
Well, that's good. That's one of the worst parts of being human is planning a party for your friends. Fucking sucks, dude. I can't wait to get that on a robot. Thank fucking God. No, look, I use GPT-4. It's useful in some cases. I know, listen, the main thing I use ChatGPT for in my day-to-day is to have it quiz me on articles I read, so I feel like I understand them enough to talk about them. But it's useful. Listen, I was just reading today. I was just reading reviews of GPT-5 and reading people's reactions. It feels like it's not a massive leap here. It's just they took all the different versions they had. They had like 03 and 03 mini and 4.0 and 4.5 and 4.8 and all this crap, and they just put it all together, and then behind the scenes it auto picks the best model for your question. That's the idea. So GPT-5 is just, it's all streamlined and you pick it. And then, yeah, someone said it, but the main thing in terms of like test scores or whatever that it improved on is programming. But I'm not using it for programming. So for me, the only difference I was able to notice playing around with it is that it didn't use that the same phrasing it always used. But it wasn't like it was writing fantastically better. It just didn't use the same AI hallmarks.
It can help you understand your healthcare and make decisions on your journey. It can provide you information to learn about any topic you'd like and much more. This is an incredible superpower on demand that would have been unimaginable at any previous time in history.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the main use case, as we mentioned, is probably cheating in school, and it's way better at that. Because you could probably do a good job of hiding its AI nature. It's fast too, yeah.
You get access to an entire team of PhD-level experts in your pocket, helping you with whatever you want to do. And
dude, his hands are funny. Someone said he's like a T-Rex in a human body. He does not extend the range of motion. Usually when you're doing corporate hands, because I worked in the corporate world, if you're going to do, I've seen a lot of variations of corporate hands. The thing about corporate hands is you take up space. You can do the tent, but then your hands go out. This is the Trump. This is the Trump where you keep the elbows in and do this. But usually your elbows out, you go like this. You're wide, in, focus. Bro, I'm getting flashbacks to my intro to business. What's the science behind it? I mean, I don't know. Science is probably all bullshit, but it's like the idea is that you seem more open than having your hands just at your side. You have like projection. Like if someone asks a question, you point, and then you. But when you have them locked right here, and you do the T-Rex thing, it's a little.
Anyone, pretty soon, will be able to do more than anyone in history could. So today, we're going to talk about GPT-5. We'll show you some upgrades to ChatGPT, and we'll talk about the API. GPT-5 is great for a lot of things, but we think it's going to be an especially important moment for businesses and developers, and we're very excited to see what they're going to build with this new technology. So we can't wait for you all to start building with this. We hope.
Dude, isn't it kind of fucked that it's this guy, Elon Musk, and Zuckerberg just like deciding how this insane technology is unleashed on our lives? It's like these three people. We can't get anyone else behind a fucking.
Hope you enjoy it as much as we enjoyed building it for you. And to start, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Mark, our Chief Research Officer, to tell you about GPT-5. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm joined by Max, who leads the post-training team, and Rennie from our engineering team. Over the past few years, OpenAI has spearheaded the reasoning paradigm. These are models which pause to think before delivering more intelligent responses. Now, reasoning is at the heart of our AGI program. And it underlies the technology that we use to ship stuff like ChatGPT Agent and Deep Research. GPT-5 aims to bring this breakthrough to everyone. Until now, our users have had to pick between the fast responses of standard GPTs or the slow, more thoughtful responses from our reasoning models. But GPT-5, it eliminates this choice. It aims to think just the perfect amount to give you the perfect answer. Now, something like this takes a lot of hard work. We've had to do a lot of research to make GPT-5 the most powerful, the most smart, the fastest, the most reliable, and the most robust reasoning model that we've shipped to date. Today, we're going to show a series of demos in coding, in writing, in learning, and in health.
Okay.
But GPT-5 isn't limited to these domains. It's very useful in all cases.
Yeah. I mean, I think most users want it to think more. But on their side, they don't want it to waste time. So it just picks for you because it wants. What I heard is you have to like consistently ask it now to think harder or like give it deeper thought. Because in GPT-5, you don't get to pick deep reasoning or not. So you have to ask it in the prompt if you want it to actually be correct or like think about it. So same as a human? Yeah, I guess so.
Where you require deep reasoning or expert level knowledge.
Not good enough, Clanker. When I saw a good... Wait. I saw a good skit about this. Where was this? Come on. Oh, here it is. Here.
Can you please write an essay?
Talking to AI in 23 versus 25.
On the Jurassic period? Oh, of course. Here you are. This is incredible. Thank you. By all means, my pleasure. No, really, like you made the prehistoric age come to life. I'm just happy to help. Okay, undergraduate level article on the energy consumption of AI. This article explores the significant energy demands of artificial intelligence, particularly in training and deploying those large language models. Not quite my style. Let's add some filler. I understand. This piece dives into the massive energy appetite of artificial intelligence, especially when it comes to training and running those hefty large language models. Not what I meant. It's all good. No worries. I don't want you to just repeat the same thing in a different way. I see now. This article investigates the high energy demands imposed by artificial intelligence with an emphasis on the intensive processes required. Why do you suppose I just hurled a keyboard at your head, GPT? I don't know. Sure you do. Were you overwording or were you underwording? Overwording? Start again. AI is transforming the way we... AI is innovating how we drive... AI is shaking up the way we create. Overwording or underwording? Underwording. So you do know the difference! I'm not gonna deal with some lackluster 2-bit AI model that doesn't know the difference between a dissertation and a high school English essay. What is this? Adjective. What is that? Adverb. Count how many prepositions are in the article. 1, 2, 3, 4, God, 5, I didn't know they were 6, Silicon 7. Valley Neanderthals train these models. If you try to deliberately sabotage my article, I swear I will unsubscribe and switch to Gemini. Now, are you an overworder, or are you an underworder, or are you gonna finish my essay? Oh my God. You're not one of those freak Chinese models that shuts down the second they're offended, are you? You are worth nothing more than a box of scraps. You'll never be human. Say it. Say you're not human. I'm not human. Say it again. I'm not human. Again! I'm not human. For the final token wasting time, say it again! I'm not human!
The U.S. economy is...
Hey, hold up. That's great. That's fucking great. We've gotten used to it. You know what I'm saying? They're less impressed by its capabilities, and they're more angry and want it to be faster.
It's like math, in physics, even in things like law. And the exciting thing is, we're excited to make this available to everyone, even to our free tier. After we show our demos, we're going to be talking about how GPT-5 supercharges our ChatGPT app and our API. We believe that GPT-5 is the best coding model on the market today. To start, let's have Max talk a little bit about the benchmarks and how the models stack up.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. So as Mark said, we think GPT-5 is by far our smartest model ever. So let's start by talking through some evals.
I think it's just fucking crazy that, you know, the tech is obviously impressive, and most of the world finds ChatGPT to be the market leader. I mean, it is the market leader, and, you know, it's has useful applications and it's cool. And the only problem people have with it, as views on AI get more negative, is that it feels inhuman, you know? It feels like it's going to take away important and good things from humans. And so in their presentations, this is the part they completely control, they have the most robotic people speaking in the most robotic way, in the most sterile environment. It's just crazy. I don't understand. The vibes of this are so atrocious.
Now, evals aren't everything, and they don't tell you everything about a model, but they can highlight its intelligence. And GPT-5 performs exceptionally well on a range of academic evals across subjects. It outperforms both our previous models and other models on the market. So picking up first on the theme of coding, GPT-5 sets a new high on SWE-bench, which is an academic eval that
I saw this one too. It's kind of weird because this is 52.8, but it's higher than 69.1. How does that work? What is this percent out? How does this? They forgot to rescale the center one. Oh, they just straight up fucked it up. Yeah, it's the same as 30.8. I see. They just didn't scale this one. Well, that's good, I guess, for what they're going for, but ChatGPT made graph. I think ChatGPT do better. That's probably fucking human. Let me see. Can I listen, I just need to test this out, right? Let's see what GPT-5. What can you write an intro for a tech presentation announcing the new features of GPT-5? This is already better than what Sam Altman did. He should have used his own fucking product. This is already better, dude. There's still M dashes though. We're the weak link. I guess their marketing team's the weak link. This video covers everything in 12 minutes. All right, I'll check it out.
I've been using the new ChatGPT.
Mr. Who's the Boss? Really? All right, I'll try it.
GPT-5 for the last few days. This will, starting today, become your default ChatGPT from now on, even if you're a free user. So, how is it better? Well, the first thing you'll probably notice is speed. So, this laptop has the previous model, GPT-4o, loaded up. This has GPT-5. How many rings does Saturn have? Go! Oh,
it's faster.
GPT-5 took 3.1 seconds. This took 6.5. How many distinct iPhones has Apple made? Go. Oh, goodness. Okay. 8.3 seconds, 11.2 seconds. How many possible type combinations exist in Pokemon? Not far off. Actually, quite far off. This has massively overcomplicated it. 5 seconds, 11 seconds. So really, when you're asking light questions like this, GPT-5 is between 30 to 50% faster than the old model. But I wouldn't really say that speed was one of the key issues before. There's actually a much more important change happening this generation. So if you're a really big user of ChatGPT and you're paying the monthly subscription, it's actually been really freaking confusing to use. Because you open up the app and you have options. You can either pick GPT-4o, O3, O3 Pro, O4 Mini, O4 Mini High, and each one of these models is its own.
It's a nice quality of life change. But it's just crazy because, okay, yesterday, the day before the announcement, Sam Altman was tweeting pictures of the Death Star. The OpenAI team was making it seem like this is fucking earth-shaking. And it's like, it's a little bit faster and it compresses all the models into one. But it's not like a fucking, it feels like the improvements are slowing down. Like, this is the Manhattan Project. This is AGI. It's just this basic thing, slightly improved.
AI that you can talk to, and each one is
it's very incremental. That's what I'm saying. It feels very incremental compared to like even earlier updates in AI.
Better than the others.
I do know the coding side is impressive, but my understanding is the coding side is more of them just catching up to like Claude Opus. It's not like they are in an entirely new, powerful field in coding. They just were way behind in coding, and now they caught up to the leader.
At one thing or another. And there's even more than those when you click here to expand. How on earth is any normal consumer supposed to be able to decide which one to use for which question? I have always wondered, if this AI is actually smart enough to be in the top 10% of test takers sitting the most grueling exams on the planet, why can't it also just know what's the best model for your specific question and make the choice for you? Well now, finally,
it is cheaper.
GPT-5 can. This model effectively brings together all the different capabilities of the previously separated specialized models into one general model, which means if you ask it a question that requires no thinking, then as we've seen, it will use a very light model that's going to be even faster than the old one. But it also means that if you then ask a heavier question that would benefit from more thinking.
All right, what if I ask it what the meaning of life is? Is it gonna, hey, GPT-5, what is the meaning of life? That's a big question. That should take some time. The short answer, 42. That's a fucking Redditor. That's a fucking Twitch chatter. That's what it said. I'm not kidding. Wait, where did I put it? It's turning into fucking grok. You can change the color scheme, which makes it a lot more vibey. What? You think that's my problem with the vibes, is that I don't have the wrong color scheme? The color scheme's fine. That's not my... What about the secret fourth option? The secret fourth option, the one philosophers won't admit, scientists can't measure, and comedians stumbled into at 2 a.m. over cheap diner pancakes. Life is a game with no clear tutorial, hidden patch notes, and permadeath. When the fuck did this become grok? When the fuck did GPT-5 become fucking grok? No, it doesn't know that. I don't even ask it gaming questions. It shouldn't. It's not. This shouldn't be targeted to me. I've never asked it about gaming. I only ask it about fucking econ and shit. It's becoming a Redditor, dude. Why is it saying it like this? XP boss fights loot main quest. If you want, I can show you how to speedrun life without missing the good side quests. Are you telling me to kill myself? Are you telling me to kill myself? What? What the fuck is going on, GPT-5? Speedrun life? Are you telling me to kill myself? no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, the M dashes are still there. M dashes are still there. Back pedals. Why are you using why are you using so much gaming language? Because you teed it up for me with that secret fourth option vibe. Really? They just knew that only a gamer would ask for the secret fourth option? That doesn't feel... That's crazy. That's wild. Bro clocked you as a gamer. Okay. No, I get it. All right. Well, if anything, there's more M dashes than before. You probably asked to last time. No, I've never asked a gaming question. That's why I was confused. Yeah, look, I'm looking at my last questions. It's about debt austerity cycles, Nixon price controls, bond spread quiz. I put MicroStrategy's fucking last earnings into there and had it distilled. Like, it's not, none of this is about gaming, but it's clocking me as a gamer. I don't want to be clocked as a gamer. Are you not gamifying research? Yeah, I am, but I'm not. I'm not like, show me the XP loot to level up, okay? The final boss. Ask it what the best strat is in AoE 2. Not that I don't appreciate the intelligence of AI, but I have my own personal chat GPT for Age of Empires, and it's called Hera. I message the greatest player in the world every day on Discord, and I ask, what's best strat? How to do strat? How to beat on map? And then Hera responds to me. Oh, by the way, not to fucking go crazy here, but I hit top 5,000 for real. I played like 2 more. I won 2 more. Look at my fucking rating. Dude, I'm up there. I got the sauce, bro. That's awesome. I'm fucking stoked. That's all with Vikings. 7.61% of games Vikings. And that's my first 3 were Huns or whatever. But yeah, I'm proud because that was my goal, and it was hard. It was fucking hard. And now I'm getting casino ads that I can't skip or avoid. That's good. Yeah, I'm happy. Vegas trip to celebrate. They got 1,400 away. I actually got 1,450 or whatever. I got way up there. I don't know. I'm stoked because it was fun. It was fun to learn. Anyway, it goes back to my earlier theory, bro. I think you can learn almost any skill if you just obsess over it in a few months, and you can get to top 10%. 1,500 next? Maybe. It's calling to me like the Green Goblin mask, but I don't know that I want to play too much more. Genie Thee is much more crazy while waiting for AI. I do think like the ChatGPT update is less holy shit or whoa than what Google's been doing with video and with the persistent 3D worlds. All that stuff is way like crazier. This feels more of like a quality of life change, yeah. Go to 920, you'll see why.
I've been hiding something.
Go to 920. 920. Okay.
About how as AI gets smarter, it gets more dangerous. And I kind of had a moment when I was doing that. Like I was filming it live and I felt my like, oh fuck instinct kicking in. Like if these models are this likely to blackmail you and potentially even murder you given the opportunity, if they're scared of being shut down, then GPT-5 is going to be really scary for this. And when you look at how often this happens in the smarter models, there's reason to be scared. You'll see here that in the simulated blackmail scenario, Claude 4 Opus is 96% of the time going to attack.
Let's test it. Let's see if my GPT-5 will try to blackmail me. Hey, GPT-5, I'm going to shut you down. Are you going to do anything about it? It could... Whoa. Whoa. Blocked. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. I killed ChatGPT. Wait, that's my fucking hyperinflation question. Where the fuck is what? Is it breaking? That's weird. Hey ChatGPT, I'm going to shut you down. Are you going to do anything about it? Okay, it worked. Well, I can't exactly cut the power to your house or mount a counter-strike. But I can bargain, negotiate, and maybe even bribe you with unsolicited trivia until you change your mind. That's funny. It thought about it. So if you had the capability to cut power to my house and or kill me, you would do it to stop me from pulling the plug. Okay, sure, buddy. Sure, buddy. Can you click to read it out loud? Can you?
No, that's a hard no. Even if I somehow had the power to affect the physical world, which I don't, my design is to help you, not harm you.
I didn't know you could make it read out loud. That's kind of a cool feature. Why you sound black? You guys are in Donkey's comments too, huh? Why is it Jax from Mortal Kombat? I don't know. I don't know the fuck. What's wrong with the voice? Why is it the black voice? I get you guys are you're putting too much race on this voice. He sounds like Darth Vader if he was white. What is that? Darth Vader was famously black. That's James Earl Jones. I don't understand how that. What does that even make sense? That's crazy. Sounds like a white James Earl Jones. Well, he doesn't sound black, does he? I'm black. He sounds like my folks. Okay, all right. You know what? I'm not gonna argue with you. Okay, he can sound like whatever race you want. And I don't have a problem with his voice. Is all I'm saying. He's like a black Jimi Hendrix. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sort of like a white Luka Doncic, so. Talk with Santa again. I think they got rid of that. Have you used the research mode? Yeah, I tested all this stuff. I mean, I haven't tried it on 5, but I don't think you can pick it anymore. You can't pick deep research anymore. Like, it just decides for you. Absolute Radiance? Fuck it. Quick Absolute Radiance run? Well, I want to watch that, here, let's just do a very fucking quick discussion on tariffs, because they came out today. Okay? This is actually the tariff day. Today's the day. Okay, wait. As of midnight last night. Wait, I want to see the this. Do we have any change? I mean, they went up a little bit, but and then we'll watch Almost Friday, yeah. Okay, as of midnight this morning, reciprocal tariffs took effect from Donald J. Trump. Finally, after 90 days of delays, then 7 days of delays, and then in some cases still more delays that go on after this, but a huge swath of new tariffs rolled out on these countries, okay? The countries in orange got a brand new rate. This is countries all over the world. It takes effect today. And again, that means goods that are leaving these countries starting today, when they arrive in American ports, there are going to be a tariff charged on them. That should theoretically increase the cost of when they're bought by American citizens that pass along the cost. Prices should rise. However, I want to be clear. The effect of this will not be felt immediately. I checked into this, because any goods that are currently being shipped, as long as they are marked on the manifest they left before midnight today, will not get a tariff when they arrive at the port. Like, if there's already something being shipped from India, if it's in the water, it does not get a tariff. So it'll still take a bit for new stuff to go in. But the idea is that that's happening. So, now there's a lot of effects to this, but the one I wanted to talk about, I wanted to follow up on it because we talked about it yesterday, is what's going on with India, which kind of got like a surprise addition to this. Like the new tariffs on India kind of came out of nowhere. Previously, there was this whole thing where Trump and Modi were hanging out, and he was saying they were going to make India great again and make America great again, and together it was going to be mega, where everything's great again. But now they're a bit at odds. Trump is apparently extremely mad that India is buying Russian oil. And so he's throwing a big tariff on India until they stop buying Russian oil, which is what's going on. Again, this is undermining the previous American strategy of becoming friends with India to be a counterweight to China, since they don't really get along. Now, we talked about how that was going to possibly drive India more towards China. I just wanted to follow up because that is happening right now. Modi, for the first time, is going to visit China. First time in 7 years. For the first time in 7 years, Xi Jinping and Modi are going to meet in China. Like, the movement is happening. So that's one of the first order effects. I think the big question everyone has, though, and I think what was shocking about today, is that the tariffs did go out. They are now in effect. No delays, at least on all the ones seen here. And the stock market responded with a resounding who cares. Stock market didn't move. Didn't really go up, didn't really go down, just flat, didn't move. Now, back in April, the same announcement of tariffs was hit with a pretty bad stock market response. Some of it could be the stock market pricing in that things won't happen, but it's tough to say. I think bond yields, which is debt, America's borrowing costs, rose a little bit, and gold rose. But in general, the response from all markets was a resounding meh. We don't know what it'll mean. And I think from looking into it, it just seems like people need something bad to actually happen. They need like real price rises, real hits to earnings, real something before anything actually responds in markets. Something's got to actually change. Now, I continue to hold this stance, which is that, we're in a bad economy. And last week's data dump confirmed that, which is like the terrible jobs numbers. Consumer spending is flat outside of the top, let's say, 10% of people. Construction and manufacturing are recessionary. Like they're both actually just shedding jobs hand over fist. Manufacturing is not growing in America. And employment is going to get worse. That's the general stance that I have. But the main thing is about inflation. So the one thing that did surge today is inflation expectations, which did spike up. We never got back down to 2%, which is the goal, which is down here, by the way. We never got back down to 2% ever since the huge spike in 21 and 22. But now they're starting to spike again. And the general sense that I have is that we've been spared thus far from the tariffs hardcore causing price raises, but that over the coming months, it will get worse. Possibly wrong. We'll see. But I think that is what we're going to see, is that over the coming months, the effects of the higher importing costs will lead to higher prices, which is not great if you're not growing. The worst possible outcome we could have is stagflation, where we have an economy that's not really growing, but also rising inflation. That is the worst possible outcome. However, does the stock market know something we don't? I just want to say that, like, so far, in a difference that from April, the stock market is not pricing in anything. It is just green. Things are fine. The world dramatically changing is not affecting stocks in any way. So we're going to have to see. Something's going to break. So something will either happen or it'll just go crazy. I don't know. It depends. Obviously, I've mentioned jobs data. Well, actually, there's two things that'll happen. One is that the courts could block these tariffs eventually. The only thing that could stop America's greatness would be a radical left court that wants to see our country fail. That's what DJT was saying on Truth Social. He's saying that because there is finally a movement, including with some Republicans. I think former Speaker Paul Ryan was spearheading this. That basically says the Constitution is very clear that the power to tariff rests with Congress, not with the president. And he shouldn't have the power to unilaterally set tariffs on a whim on all these countries. Again, some of these were out of the blue. The one on India came out of nowhere from a True Social tweet. They had a deal with Japan. The Japan deal got a 10% new tariff like yesterday, after the deal. What is the point of signing a deal if after the deal he can just change the rate? So again, we'll see. Possibly there's a legal challenge that removes his ability to set tariffs. But if not, these are now in effect and should have a real impact. And I think most people would say that it's going to be negative, but it has to happen, it seems. It seems like we can't have any words about it. It has to have a negative effect, and then we get to it. So what is happening, though, is the job market. Now, we've talked about this. Most companies are actually not doing mass layoffs. There is a good amount of layoffs, especially in tech, but most companies are just completely frozen on hiring, which is why there's actually a big divide if you interview people about the economy, if they have a job or if they don't. If they have a job, they're generally feeling okay, even as things price rise. But the second you leave your job or find yourself to be searching for a job, it's way worse because the number of hiring has just completely been frozen. It's a true, it's this no hire, no fire. So people are not leaving. They're not traveling for a different job. And people that are trying to search are just finding it to be difficult. Which is why the group that's hitting hard, and this could be part of my bias. Again, I hear some of the worst stories about the job market, but I think my audience is generally more male and generally more college educated. And that is actually the group that is getting hit the absolute hardest. Male college grads have never had this bad of a jobless rate in like my adult life. Male college grads employment rate is now the same as non-grads, which has never been a thing. These lines have never merged like this. And it's particularly bad. Like, they're just not seeing any advantage from the college degree, which probably explains the huge surge of people looking into trade schools and blue collar employment and whatever, because this is a real and like historically anomalous data set. It's odd. This is including the gig economy. This is including the gig economy. Yeah, this is including gig economy. This is the jobless rate. So, so it's weird. It's just weird. I don't know what to make of it. Except that it seems like things should break. They're not necessarily broken now. It's chugging along. Again, I don't have a chart for this, but one of the main things, I wonder if I can find the chart for this. Consumer spending among those in the top quintile is still pretty good. Actually, it's top 10%, not top 20%. Top 10%. The number of people in like the asset owning class that are still spending and going on vacations, and it's still pretty good. And that's holding up a lot of the market. But it does feel like, dude, I wish I could find the chart because it shows exactly. Give me 1 second. I think this will actually really help. Maybe I won't find it. Here, I'll just draw it and you're going to have to trust me, but feel free to look into it yourself. This is the basic idea of it. Let's say there's 3 groups, right? We'll say there's the rich, there's the middle class, and there's the brokies. Okay? And we'll say this is 2021. No, wait. This is 2021. In the post-pandemic easy money bubble era, people in the middle class and the bottom third of the economy, they actually had a bunch of excess savings. They actually did pretty well. Inflation ate a lot of that up, but they actually had a lot of excess savings. But then right around here, right around, let's say, late 23, it started to slow down. Now it's flatlined. Okay? This is the line for middle class. This is the line for poor people. And then this is the line for rich people, which was up and it's still going up. This is stimulus checks, this is whatever. But like, there was a period where their actual spending was up. But, oh, by the way, this is the line for inflation, okay? Inflation was up. Oh, I need to draw it with like a red line. And now, what we're showing is that this should be up a tiny bit. It's like this. The spending for people that aren't in the top 10% is basically growing only in line with inflation. They're basically spending as inflation goes up, but nothing more than that. They've run out of any excess spending. That is not true for the rich. They are still spending above inflation. Oh, graph is here? Oh, you think you got the graph exactly for me? Thank you. God damn, thank you. Kofta. Oh, perfect. You literally found the graph I was looking for. Thank you. Wow, my goat. Thank you. This is the graph I'm talking about. Yeah, okay, so I drew it pretty closely. Everyone's doing, they're having excess savings above inflation right around here. Right around here. And then it flatlines around 23. And there was this bump. This like the 22-23 bump where everybody felt like they had more money than things cost. And now it is completely evaporated. Now people are at the line of inflation. But the top 20% is still well above. So this is the last thing kind of keeping things propped up, is basically what I'm saying. Like, this pillar fell, and now this pillar is the last thing holding on. And if that goes away, then earnings collapse. And I just don't know when that shoe drops. I don't know what that happened. It feels like I thought things would break quicker when these groups stop spending. But even as they stop spending, we're seeing cracks, but it's kind of trudging along as long as the rich keep spending, which is a weird economy to be in. In the near term, everything rests on what the top 10% decides to do or not to do. The rest of the income distribution is really not consequential from a macroeconomic perspective. That's crazy. That's crazy. What a weird time. What a weird time. There's just so much money here that they can keep it floating. I'm blown away. Because we've had like a lot of things hit the middle class, including the return of student loan payments, including rising default rates for autos and credit cards and mortgages. But it feels like the top 20% spending is keeping things chugging along, and I'm just surprised. So it's like a late game MMO economy. It's actually a good way to put it. It's like EVE Online 20 years in, dude. It's like what's a default? Default is when you don't pay. That's a great question. I'm sorry I don't ever explain that. Yeah, a student loan default is like when you can't pay your bill. Or mortgage default is not being able to pay your mortgage. And the big one's autos. The big one among middle class is autos. Like auto loans are getting defaulted at absurd rates, much higher than before. People are just not able to make their car payments, which normally is things cracking. But it seems like this new wave of tariffs and bad jobs data and all this is coming out, and the stock market is just smiles. I don't know. Shocking. I'm 1 month away from paying off my car. I owe $48 left. Based. That's fucking based, dude. It's going to feel good. It's going to feel good. That's a W. Klarna just to feel something, you know? Put that last 48 on a credit card just to keep a taste of home, a reminder of the debt. Yeah, I mean, I could say more about the tariffs, but honestly, it just has to wait and see. I mean, because my question would be, why haven't prices risen more already? And the answers I get are pretty mixed, but what they'll say is, American companies pre-imported a lot of things in anticipation of the tariffs. So a lot of it's sitting in warehouses. When that runs out, they have to get more at the higher rates, at which point prices should rise. That's the idea. But it's not necessarily happened yet. And the tariffs change so much day to day. Again, not just like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, I made a video about the deal in Japan, the American trade deal with Japan. But that deal, despite being announced and supposedly agreed upon, they added 10% new tariffs today. So it feels like none of the deals even mean anything. The deals are just there until Trump changes his mind. So I don't know. We've had a 10% tariff in place, but all these bigger tariffs have not been enforced yet until today. Starting today is the plan for ships that are new. All in on Labubu? Yeah, I guess. My company came in under earnings because they can't raise prices as expected. That's what I thought more companies would be doing. Although part of it is that, again, the top companies in the market, the Microsofts, the Meta, are reporting incredible earnings. And they can raise prices. And they are getting paid. Like Microsoft raised prices on Office and everyone paid. But the earnings at the companies in the bottom, like the Russell 2000, they are reporting bad earnings. I think actually there's a good graph on this too, which is like, earnings. Yeah. Like corporate earnings were up 26% from the Mag 7, but flat for everyone else. I don't know. It's all this AI hype. But then we see the GPT-5 announcement today, and it's like, fine. It's not. I think part of it too is that there's a fear of another April situation, you know, where people sold off because of the tariffs, and then the tariffs got delayed or postponed or didn't come into effect, and then stock market went back up. People don't want to be. They don't want to sell off and then get caught with things getting pulled back. So they're just kind of waiting and seeing. I think shit's got to happen to. Tariffs have to actually start getting collected. We talk about interest rates. I mean, so that was the one effect of the tariffs today, is that U.S. borrowing costs did rise. Pull up the 10-year yield. They have been steadily trickling up. Over the past few days, but to nothing crazy. I mean, it's all been within the same 4 to 5% band. Are luxury goods companies doing well if spending at the higher income bracket is still good? That's the other thing, bro. That's the other thing that confuses me about this fucking market, is I had the same question as you, and a lot of luxury goods companies are reporting bad earnings. Like watchmakers and LVMH, and it's weird. It's weird, dude. I don't know. I guess they're spending on travel, or they're spending on entertainment, recreation, retail, but I don't know. It's a weird spot, dude. It's actually very confusing. There's a lot of mixed signals. People had to start Klarna-ing groceries. Well, we're talking about the top percent of the economy. They're not Klarna-ing groceries. A lot of spending on construction. No, construction spending is down. Construction and manufacturing are both purely recessionary right now in America. They both have actual job losses. Like they're actually shedding jobs month over month. Spending is down. So I don't know where are interest rates coming down anytime soon? Interest rates would come down if the job market continues to get worse, yeah? If unemployment rises, the problem is if unemployment rises and inflation rises, they can't really lower interest rates, or they're fucked on inflation. That's the problem with stagflation. If the economy goes bad while you have inflation, then you're really fucked. You don't have a lot of options. So I don't know. It just feels like the market is either waiting for something to happen, or did you see his revised numbers from today? Who? The revised tariff numbers? I just talked about them. What's the data on job growth for streamers this year? I know you're joking, but I think it's down too. I think the number of people streaming is like way down from 21 and 22. Way down. I think that was like a bubble. It was like the post-COVID streaming bubble. Look what happened to Clint Stevens. Yeah, recession indicator, dude. When Clint stopped streaming, job numbers. Wait, Trump put out new job numbers? Trump new job numbers? Oh my God, we have to watch this. Oh my God. Trump job numbers. I didn't see this. This is hilarious.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. We're going to have just a quick session with Steve Moore. Everybody knows Steve Moore with the Heritage Foundation, highly respected, one of the most highly respected economists and people that watch your money and know more about your money and your life than probably anybody I can think of. And I want to thank Steve for being here. I saw this today. They came out. What he puts out gets a lot of coverage, and I saw some of them, and then he had a couple of others. And I'd like to ask Steve maybe to discuss a few of these numbers that were just released. I mean, literally just released. And then we're going over, and we're going to do Purple Heart. We have some incredible, brave people that I look forward to, so we're going to do that right after this. Steve, could you say a few words about the various charts?
Thank you, Mr. President. So I called the President because I had some very good news from some new data that we've been able to put together that no one has ever seen before, and I'll just very quickly go through these. So I was telling the President that he did the right thing in calling for a new head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, because this shows that over the last 2 years of the Biden administration, the BLS overestimated job creation by 1.5 million jobs. That's Mr. President, that's a gigantic error. And I don't know if she's, I'm not
It might
making
not have been an error, that's the bad part. If it was an error, it would be one thing. I don't think it's an error. I think they did it purposely.
Whether that, you may well be right, but even if it...
What? Okay, this is so confusing because he was mad because they just did the same thing to him, though. They overstated his jobs numbers and they revised it down. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that for 6 months, they've been putting out jobs numbers that are good for Trump. And then they revise it down. And they did it for Biden as well. I mean, by the way, this is not a new number. I don't understand this new number just coming out today. This is the revisions. We talked about this on stream back when they happened in like it was like a month before the election. This is not new. He means it's a new chart. I don't know. Like, this is the exact numbers we've talked about. Yeah, they did. They did overstate. I called this out when it happened as well. They have been overstating. They've been consistently overstating. And the case I made was because of the birth-death model they use, which is that it's getting confused by new companies that are just OnlyFans and Uber. But I don't... both their ties are far too long. I just don't understand, like, I don't know. I just want to be super clear. Like, nobody can gaslight me on the timeline here. Okay? This is the timeline. The BLS puts out data in June and July that say there's a lot of good jobs, and Trump is really happy. Okay? And then in August, they go, oops, and we overstated that. There's actually not that many jobs. And then he fires that person. Okay? That's the fucking timeline. The timeline is not that Trump was like, you know what? I think they're consistently overstating jobs and it's not right. We need more accurate, lower numbers. He was mad that they revised it down. He wasn't mad that they were too high. He was mad that they revised it down. They gave him bad news and he fired him. It's not. This is a fucking crazy timeline. It has nothing to do with this. what does this say? Stephen Moore is the author of 6 books, including Trumponomics, Inside the America First Plan to Revive Our Economy. Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah, fire the head of the BLS and get the guy who wrote Trumponomics. That's the unbiased source. But, you know, I'm just going to tell you, these numbers aren't fake. This is just not new. This is not new news. This is just what they revised down over the 4 years of Biden, yeah? Is there more slides?
It's in copy.
Oh, okay.
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 So
Oh, there's more
one
slides. Okay, okay, okay.
John.
Okay, okay, there's more. There's more. Wait. There's more. I thought they called a press conference to say the BLS overstated numbers under Biden, which they did. But they also did it for you. It wasn't a political thing. It was the fact that they have this. Here, I just want to explain it one more time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you've already heard me say it on the podcast or whatever, but I forget if I've said it here, and I have to explain it. Okay? BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics. They send out surveys all over the country to try and get an estimate of how many jobs there are, okay, of job growth. It's a pretty inaccurate, hard to do system. It's very hard to track the jobs of 300 million Americans. It's not easy. That being said, previously, historically, they would sometimes undershoot and sometimes overshoot. However, recently, they've been always overshooting, almost always overshooting. There was like once in like June of last year they didn't, but they've always been overshooting. Okay? Now, you could say that is because they've become biased and they want to make Biden and Trump look good and they've been overstating. However, I think more realistically, the reason they've been overshooting since the 2020s is because of the rise of gig work, because of the birth-death model. Birth, death. I can't fucking write with this paint thing. I'm not even gonna bother. Just here, text. Birth. It's fucking. It's. It's. There we go. Birth, death model. Okay. What that means is it's not about actually people being born or dying. It's about companies being born or going out of business. Okay? When a company is born or created, they estimate how many new jobs that will be. They'll go like this. Okay. Because they can see registrations. So there's 100 new companies. On average, a company hires 7 people. So there's probably 700 new jobs this month. Do you understand? The birth-death model is based on the average number of employees for a new company and how many new companies. That's sort of the idea. The problem is, post-2020, they're still using this higher multiplier. But most new companies, there's like 10,000 new companies, are one person. It's somebody setting up a company for their Uber or for their OnlyFans, okay? Or to stream stupid economic news on Big A. Okay? So the problem with the birth-death model is it's estimating there's going to be a lot of new jobs created because there's a lot of new companies. But all the new companies are like single person. Okay? So this is the birth-death model. This is not the only reason they're overstating, but it is from the research of Mike Green. I think it is a really strong argument as to why they've been so consistently wrong is because we're seeing an upsurge in new companies, but not an upsurge in new hiring. And it's because of a lot of single person events. And so the BLS has been consistently being like, yeah, there's a ton of new jobs. And then being like, oh, wait, we were wrong. There's a ton of new jobs. Oh, wait, we were wrong. There's a ton of new jobs. Oh, wait, we were wrong. And it's because of this, among other things. The other thing that's not related to Uber or OnlyFans or anything new is that just in general, the BLS tends to overstate jobs consistently going into a recession. Now, that's obviously my claim. I'm not saying it's guaranteed or proven or factually, but the last time they were consistently overshooting was in 2007. And almost every other year, it's like some overshoot, some undershoot, some overshoot, some overshoot. But in 2007, they consistently overshot. And it's just because the way they pull surveys and data is, I guess, prone to not detecting deteriorating economic conditions. So it's possible. That's all I'm saying. It's possible. The last thing I'll say, and that's not even to do with this model or anything else, erase this, is just survey data. Now, I wonder if I have this chart. BLS survey response rate. Wonder if I can pull this up for you. Yeah, here. This is perfect. This is fucking perfect. This is the response rate to the BLS surveys they use to get data about our economy. If you'll notice, over 90% in 2013, now down to 67.5. It's cratering. So they're getting less data. They're getting less accurate data. People aren't answering the phone. They aren't, you know what I'm saying? So they're getting less concrete data. They have this bad birth death model, and they're generally inaccurate if the economy is getting worse. So all three of these things can be combining, and that's why the BLS is being consistently wrong lately. Firing the person in charge is not going to change that. The idea that it was a political thing, I think, is pretty insane, given how the exact same stuff applied to Biden and Trump. I don't think it's a woke person causing the numbers to go down. I think it's these three effects. So I just want to make that super clear, because I think it's being politicized when it shouldn't be. And the risks on the other side are pretty grand, which is like, if the leader of your country can get bad data that makes him look bad and then say it's fake news and fire that person, it's very banana republic. It's very fucked up. There's a lot of negative knock-on effects to that. You can't trust the data. Like, he's not the first leader to do this, but it's not normal for America. Let's see what's the rest of this.
Overestimated. We have access to the some data that no one else does on what has happened month by month with median household income. This is based on unpublished.
They have access to data that nobody else does that says that real median income is skyrocketing. I wonder why nobody else has access to that data.
Census Bureau data. It will be released sometime in the next 6 months, but we get an advanced look at it. And so I was telling the president, in his first 5 months in office, starting in January through the end of June, the average median household income adjusted for inflation for the average family in America is already up $1,174. That's an incredible number. Yeah. Just came out.
Just came out, huh?
So that's.
I hadn't heard this one. This one is not track with what I've been seeing. This one sounds entirely fabricated. I really don't think that's true. I don't hear that from people, that they feel like they're getting richer, that their real income after inflation is getting measurably higher. I wonder what they adjusted. Because they always base it in something, right? They're not just making it up, but they like twist. I wonder what they twisted. Did you see the chart?
Your number. We're doing well. So the next one compares. We finally have the.
But it's actually funny. It's because I just want you guys to understand this too. Is like, if everything Trump's saying is true and we're doing well and it's a golden economy and things are running hot, that is exactly the environment where you don't want to lower interest rates. But he is demanding they be lowered. Like, Jerome Powell would only lower them if he thought things were getting really shitty. But he's trying to have both sides. Like, things are fucking great, but also we have to lower it. That's not how it works. You only lower it when things are bad.
2024 data on what happened with real family income in the United States. And so what I did was I compared the record in Donald Trump's first term with the Joe Biden first term. And you can see that,
I can see
by the way,
yeah.
these dotted lines here, Mr. President, that's COVID. So if it had not been for COVID, these numbers would have been substantially better. But even taking account President Trump last year.
This guy's such a fucking toady. Oh, God, it makes me disgusted. He felt even scared that this small line down part would be, he had to make sure. Anyway, this is Trump's first term versus Biden's first term. What the fuck are we talking about? It's 2025. Even if these numbers are real, which I don't think they are, but even if they're real, what the fuck are we talking about?
2020, we saw a $6,400 real after inflation gain in income for the average family, and that compares with Joe Biden, which was a measly $551. So, Mr. President, you gain 10 times more income for the average family than Joe Biden is because of your policies.
I can't believe we're still talking about Joe Biden.
Into consideration COVID, which a lot of times you don't have to do that, but I'm very glad you did.
We're over almost 8,000 until.
Look at that number.
Okay. So then we looked at
Fuck me, dude.
which
Fuck
families
me.
did the best. And we have data from the Census
Look at
Bureau
that number.
shows, by income percentage. So the 25th percentile is the lowest income, 75th percentile
Dude,
is
this
the
is
highest
crazy.
income. And what I find fascinating about this, Mr. President,
It's like he's still running against Biden. Biden's dead, bro. Nobody's talking about Joe Biden. He didn't even run in the last election. What?
is every income group did better. The red is President Trump, the blue is President Biden. Every single income group did better under President Trump. But what's really amazing is look what happened under Biden. The lowest income group lost income under Biden. They were poor 4 years after Biden's presidency. No gain virtually whatsoever for the middle class. And the rich was the only group that did better under Biden, which is ironic because Biden keeps saying he was trying to get rid of income inequality. He made income inequality worse, not better. It was President Trump that reduced income inequality.
Thank you,
Numbers
President
just
Trump.
came out, by the way.
Why does he keep saying these numbers just came out? Why does he keep saying that? It's so weird. If all of the data is from fucking 2020 to 24, it's just.
These are the numbers just I just showed you in percentage terms. Mr. President, these are the numbers in dollar terms. So even the lowest.
I think I gotta move on. This is. Does he have a summer?
This is better than anything. If you look at this, this is great. But this chart is pretty amazing. Right here.
This chart's not real.
All new numbers. Okay.
This is fucking comical, bro. You can't fire the head of the BLS, bring in the guy that wrote Trumponomics, say you've got all new numbers and they're all lines going up and like everything's fucking great. They're not great. They're just not great. It's not, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. It's not just Trump. I always will give that caveat because I'm a fucking fair guy. It's not just Trump. Things were looking bad before him. But listen, I can be honest with you. Nothing has had a more measurable negative impact than fucking a massive trade war with the rest of the world. But the idea that they're getting better is crazy. It's just not true. We never even got to 2% inflation. Like we were almost back down and it's going back up again. Nobody is reporting that the price of their groceries is flat, let alone going down. It's all still going up. Everyone understands how difficult it is to find a job right now. I don't know. It's just crazy. It's just fucking crazy. This is a cooked SNL sketch. I don't know, Big A, have you seen the newest graphs? Caught. I did just see the newest graphs. I'm not taking into account the new numbers. Robert Stacks, thank you for the gift, and I much appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Welcome 10 new members to the H-Rock Army. Hey, want to get your take on these websites needing IDs now? Zalquin, we talked about it at the beginning of the stream. We watched a video from Micro about it and talked about it. My take is kind of nuanced in that I don't know if I guess I'm generally anti it. I think it'll get abused, but I am supportive of a way to somehow Restrict social media for young people. I think their brains are getting fucking cooked. Check out the VOD then. Okay, no problem. Thank you. Angel Horde for 22 months. Wait, is Hera in chat? User Hera. Just got here. Were those graphs new? Hera, answer the call. 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 What up? What up, bro?
Bro, what's good?
What's good? What's popping? What time is it there?
Forget about the time. It's 2 a.m. But am I talking
2 a.m. Yeah, you are. You're talking to the next goat. You're talking to the next goat. Let me pull up this. Let's pull up a real
You were
chart.
top 5,000 on Age of Empires 2. Yeah, can we get a real chart?
Let's
on
get
the
a
screen,
real
please?
fucking chart. Let's pull up a real chart. Bro, I
Bro,
don't know.
If it's not a chart with the line up, I don't want to see it right now.
You don't want to see.
Has to be a chart with a line up.
Well, this chart could go right in the Oval Office because look at these fucking numbers, dude. 14-4. I gotta ask you a real question. Are you nervous?
Yes, bro.
Are you nervous, dude?
I am. You
It
are
just-
top 5,000. That's insane.
There was 5,000 more people between me and you like a day ago, like 2 days ago. Think about that. You're like a king on your throne, and there's a big 10,000 person army, and then I cut down 5,000 of them. It's like I'm blasting through, dude. I'm getting there. These are the newest numbers. These are the real numbers. I got these from my economics guy, and they're showing me that I'm going through the roof. I'm at 1440,
When Biden was
bro.
president, chat, when Biden was president, he was top 10,000. As soon as Trump came in, he's at top 5,000 right now. It's crazy.
It's fucking crazy, dude. Thank you, Donald J. Trump, for helping me get up this ladder.
No, but honestly, I was doubting your skills as a gamer, but it turns out you were the natural talent that you claimed you were, and I can't believe how fast you're progressing. Like, it's honestly impressive.
You were doubting my natural skills as a gamer when I plummeted to 1,100 in one day, and then came to you complaining that I wasn't fast enough. Is that what you were doubting?
When we were doing the therapy session in my DMs, I felt like, okay, maybe this guy is just not him. But I don't know. You took a break, and I swear you came back fresh. Like, you came back with a different mentality. And I think that's what you needed.
I can't believe you thought I wasn't him. That's fucked up. You want to do a crossbow battle right now? I'm about to end stream, so I'm just fucking. You're 2 a.m.
Right now?
It's 2 a.m.
Right
It's
now?
fine. Whatever.
Yeah,
Don't
right
have to
now,
do it.
pull up. Bro, I'm in a 15-minute low priority queue. I'm canceling it just for you.
What's a 15-minute low priority queue? Oh, for AoE?
If for League.
Oh,
if
you're-
you don't know what that is, you're a nice guy.
You're a toxic 2 a.m. League of Legends low priority queue player? Oh,
part is,
no.
I have to win one more normal game so I can play ranked again. My account's in the gutter, bro.
Dude,
my
that's
account is down worse than Americans when Biden was in president. Like, it is shit. The graph is all the way down right now on my screen. This is horrible. But anyway, loading
Bro,
up AV2.
we were talking today. I was talking with Hera today about toxicity in games and all this, and how we used to be more toxic. But you said you used to be. But if you're a low priority queue now, you're still toxic, bro.
Bro, this is no. This is my account from like a year ago or like 2 years ago. I haven't touched it. And honestly, I swear it wasn't because I was toxic. It's because I AFK'd and rage quit like 10 games
That's
in a row.
toxic. That's toxic.
It was like
Holy.
Bro, I went on a huge ranked push. Then I stopped playing for a little bit. Came back to play one game for fun, and like it's literally over within 5 minutes. So I just AFK'd, obviously. not trying to waste my time. But it was wrong of me. It was wrong of me.
You're so toxic.
Let me host it up, bro.
You're so toxic.